fully believe in the future that NIO is actually going to surpass Tesla and become even better than Tesla. Of course, near the end of this video, I'll also show you some other charts that are pretty interesting and worth taking a look at. So I want to clear up some stuff. In my previous video, I received a lot of backlash, of course. As I expected, I knew that if I came out in public and told people that I have sold and I was waiting for lower entry, people would be pretty upset. But in that video, I was praising NIO and I got nothing but love for the company. Love NIO, but some people got the impression that I was bashing NIO. No. And if I gave you that impression, then I apologize. That is not what I meant to do. It is not what I meant. I love the company. The company is good. It's going to do well. Having that said, I believe the stock price could drop further. All right. It's got nothing to do with how good the company is. The company, NIO, is a great company when the stock price was at 60. NIO is a great company with the stock price at 13. NIO will still be a great company when the stock price is 5. You get what I mean? In that video and this video, I'm not trying to convince you to sell. I'm just explaining why I did it, all right? And it's not like I hate the company, I'm selling. No. It's more like I think there's going to be a better opportunity to load up. So that's why I took a sideline stance. Hey, I'll sell right now. I'll observe on the sideline. And when the stock price gets lower, that's when I'll buy back in. That's my theory. That does not mean that I think the company is bad. There's a lot of different things that convince me to do this kind of maneuver. And my reasoning behind this is all very logical, all right? And in that video, I was nothing but praising NIO for everything they have, everything they do. It's just such a good company. It's the perks that they're offering. Very awesome, very good, but that does delay profitability. And that's not really in the sense that, I want them to be profitable. It's more in the sense that they're still a growth stock, and growth stocks will suffer more share price depreciation during this recession. And that is my argument, all right? I have nothing wrong with what they're doing. I love it, man. Like all those car washes, everything, I love it. As a NIO owner, I love it. 2, massive COVID resurgence is happening here in China, and there's a lot of uncertainty because several places still require valid COVID tests, and then people are still not yet ready to fully accept COVID in their lives. And this is going to cause a period of time that needs people to adapt. All right, people need to adapt to this, and this is going to take some time. And third, of course, market conditions. In my opinion only, it's looking like the share price could go down. Once again, nothing to say that the company's bad or I don't believe in the company. You guys thinking I don't believe in the company. I believe in the company. During the tech bubble crash or during the real estate bubble crash, Apple, the company, was doing great. They were doing fantastic, but their stock kept on dropping. It was just market conditions. It's nothing to do with the company being bad, all right? I want to make that absolutely clear. Company is good. I love the company, but share price may drop further for better re-entry in my opinion. That's why I sold. I fully plan on getting back in. And if you rewatch that video closely, I was not bashing the company. I was praising the company. But I apologize if I gave you that impression, all right? I did not intend to bash the company, and I do not bash the company. That being said, let me explain my analysis once again with some new charts and also some new information. But of course, once again, I'm not trying to convince you guys to sell or trying to convince you guys to buy. This is just my opinion and my opinion only, all right? I hope you guys can keep it respectful. All right, guys, we're hopping back in the charts, and I just wanted to make myself a little bit more clear, and there's some new developments as well. If you take a look at this line right here, this is a very important resistance line, which was previously support at this 1379 level. And if we look at the previous times that we've gotten here, over here this time, we can see that it was very, very oversold, right, on the 4-hour chart, and over here as well, very, very oversold. And what I wanted to point out is that this time when we came back to 13, we're overbought, and this is the relative strength index. So we are overbought. Say this one more time, like this has nothing to do with the company. This is just the stock market conditions, all that stuff, all right? If you took a look over here, the MACD has already started curling over. It has already crossed on the 4-hour chart. Boom, there we go. This is obviously a sell signal, just like how a positive cross is a buy signal. Last time we got this MACD cross that high up was when over here, we got up here when NIO was at 20.6. That's when the MACD told us it's time to sell. So this is just a MACD reading. You can take it with a grain of salt if you want. All right, and then what I mentioned in my previous video, the bear flag, which this looks very much like a bear flag. You take the flagpole, and this is called the flagpole. You see this very straight linear move down, that's a flagpole, and you connect it to the base of the flag, and that gives you the target, which is right down here at 5.11-ish. And of course we could also move a bit further than that now. And coincidentally, down at this level, we got a gap that needs to get filled, right? Over here, this $5 gap. And coincidentally, last time when I called for $8, my thesis behind it was that we had this big gap over here that needed to be filled, that we could get down here. And even back when NIO was up here, I said, you know, we could get down to this level 22 because we had a gap over here. And back then, even though back then we were at like $50, $60, people were like, 22, no way. Like, you know, that would be like a third of its value lost to get down to 22, and people were like, no way. And I said, hey, look, there's a gap here, we might have to get that filled. And yeah, we did end up getting that filled, right? So that was pretty insane to look at history. But we're gonna try to like look forward. Of course, nothing is perfect. Technical analysis is just a art form. It's a study of supply and demand. Over here, this is also pretty important. This is the Hang Seng Index, which is the Hong Kong stock market pretty much. And one thing I really want to note is the 200-day moving average. We've come up and just about tagged it, right? Over here, we just about tagged it, a little bit peekaboo over on top of it. Now, during trending markets, the moving average usually acts as support or resistance. So in a downtrend, this would act as strong resistance, and during uptrends, the 200-day moving average would act as strong support. And what we can see now is that we're pretty high up on the RSI. We're pretty overbought, and in uptrend markets, oversold readings is when you buy. In downtrend markets, overbought readings is when you sell. So if we take a look at the lower time frame on the hourly chart, this is what we got. This is a very nice looking rising wedge kind of pattern. And rising wedges are usually continuation patterns as well. We got the bearish divergence over here, and that tells me that when we break down over here, we're going to head down much lower. So this is something to be worried about, and I am indeed quite worried about. Of course, if you're worried about it, that's up to you. This is what I'm concerned about. NIO stock, okay? NIO stock, not just the stock. The company's great. We could be heading down much lower. And one thing that's going to absolutely blow your mind, this is going to blow your mind. Why is this such an important line? Because everybody that bought up here since, what is this? Since July of 2020, everybody that bought after July 2020 is pretty much in the red now. And whether it be like tax loss harvesting, that could be one big reason for continued selling, or we see capitulation possibility. And also what worries me the most is actually margin calls, because people do end up getting margin called, and that's going to ultimately be more selling pressure that could force the stock price down. And this is just my opinion, all right? Don't do anything on my opinion. This is just my opinion. This is why I took a sideline stance right here. I bought over here, sold over here. All right, gonna watch for now because I think this line is gonna hold and the stock price might come down over here. And if it does, cool, I'll buy in over here. If it doesn't, so be it. And if it breaks above this, cool. All right, so be it. All right. So this is just my analysis. This is just my thesis. I think we could be seeing some better buying opportunities ahead. Let me clarify. NIO is a great company. They will always be a great company. They will do great things, and I fully believe in the future that NIO is actually going to surpass Tesla and become even better than Tesla. They are already better than Tesla in many aspects, but the stock price, it's a different story, all right? The stock price isn't correlated to how good the company is. It's more affected by market conditions, and the stock price may drop further. And to be fair, I was the only one that called out 8, and we got to 8. I was one of the only ones to call out that 60 was going to be dangerous. And yeah, 60 was indeed the top. I was the only one to say that at 30, things could look not so pretty. All right, I made that video. It's not so pretty. We could be breaking below 30 because the price kept on banging at the door and the door might not hold. Indeed. And it didn't hold. And you see, those videos were all like me warning you guys and doing that kind of stuff. But this video and my previous video, I'm not even gonna warn you guys. It's just my reason, what I did, right? You do whatever you wanna do. I'm not even gonna warn you. Not gonna tell you like to do this or do that. No, do whatever you wanna do, all right? Please keep it respectful.